everyone, welcome back. For those of you that are new, my name is Nina. I'm a life transformation coach, and this channel is dedicated to wellness, healing, and understanding our own psychology. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications because we definitely want you to stay connected. So today's video is a solution-based video that was inspired by a Psych2Go video called 7 Signs You Are Emotionally Burnt Out. Now, if you're not familiar with Psych2Go or that particular video, I will go ahead and link it down in the description box below, but they are an amazing channel that make mental health topics just so relatable and understandable, and I cannot recommend them enough. So definitely check that out. And I found this particular video to be incredibly powerful and just to be such a wonderful resource for identifying those warning signs of emotional burnout. So today I wanted to kind of build upon that video and talk about some solutions for when we are already experiencing burnout. So let's go ahead and start by defining the term and then quickly going over those 7 signs that were specifically mentioned in the Psych2Go video. So according to the American Psychological Association, we can define burnout as physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion accompanied by decreased motivation, lowered performance, and negative attitudes towards oneself and others. You may feel like you're no longer in control of your life or that you are trapped or stuck in a situation, but overall you just kind of feel drained and worn out. And today we're specifically talking about emotional exhaustion, but burnout of any kind can really lead to an immense amount of suffering. Emotional burnout usually stems from the accumulation of stress or from an overload of overwhelming experiences or expectations. And as mentioned in the video, there are many warning signs that this is starting to happen, such as being chronically fatigued, not taking care of yourself, a decline in performance, being emotionally volatile, feeling down most of the time, a social life that is going downhill, and feeling hopeless. So if any or all these things really sound familiar right now, please know that you are not alone and that there are many strategies that we can use to help us recover from burnout. If you clicked on this video, it's likely you are already experiencing this, so let's go ahead and jump right into a list of solutions. Number 1, take a break. When our mental health is really suffering to this degree, it is a great indication that we do need to take a step back so that we can have the time and the space to focus on ourselves and on some of the more positive aspects of our life. When we feel emotionally burnt out, we can feel like we are being stretched too thin, that too many people need things from us, and that there's not really enough of us to go around. So when we take a break, even if it's something very small like going to the movies or going on a hike or even something very big like going on a huge vacation, it can really just help relax us and put us in a much better mental state so that we can come back and handle all the things that we really do need to take care of. Number 2, decide where to focus your energy. Many times when we are emotionally burnt out, we are simply overwhelmed by the amount of things that we need to do for our relationships, for our career, and in our personal life. Most of us are just honestly trying to do too much, and we have schedules that simply don't allow us to have balance in our life, to enjoy our life and get the things that we need to do actually done. So we need to look at our life and see what things are really sucking our energy out. Are there things that could be removed? Are there things that could wait until a later date? Are there things that we are just doing because we feel obligated or because they are a habit? These are things we really need to look at, because oftentimes when we remove all these unnecessary things that are really just mental clutter, we can feel a lot more relaxed, a lot less stressed out, and we can have time and energy to focus on the things that really are important. Number 3, take care of our physical health. A lot of times when we're going through this, the last thing that we are thinking about is our physical health, but our physical health really does contribute to our emotional health. And there are just so many simple things that we can do that can genuinely make us feel better, such as getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, exercising on a regular basis, Reducing our alcohol intake, all the things that we know we should be doing, but again, when we are not feeling our best, a lot of times these things get tossed out the window. So we just have to refocus our energy on taking care of both our mental and physical health, and that's going to help this journey go a lot faster. Number 4, eliminate or reduce the stressor. So before we get too far into this one, I want to give a huge disclaimer and a huge caveat that firstly, this is not always possible. Secondly, we want to make sure that we are not going to make a decision that we are going to later regret. A lot of times when we are going through something as serious as this, we just want the suffering to stop, which may mean that we become inclined to do something that we are at risk of not being happy with in the future. So we want to make sure that when we make these big decisions that we are giving it plenty of time and introspection, considering all the angles and making sure that we're also really thinking about it when we are feeling better. We don't want to make big decisions based on temporary feelings. So that being said, we want to go ahead and look at what the stressor is, if it is something that is obvious and it's something that we can control. So if it's something that we can control, let's say maybe we could work less hours, or maybe if it has to do with friends that are really demanding, maybe we can kind of take a step back and spend a little bit less time with them. Solutions like that. But if this is something that we know we cannot keep up with long term, if this is something that has continuously come up for us, that comes up time and time again, that we kind of keep pushing away, but it's really causing this amount of mental stress for us, this is something that we probably do need to address, or we are going to feel like this again and again and again. So let's say it has to do with that job. Maybe it is time to rethink our career or try strategies to make our job a little bit better for us, even if it's just, switching to a different department or switching the hours that we work. Or if it's the relationship, maybe we need to rethink if this is the relationship for us, or make positive changes in the relationship, or change the dynamics in the relationship somehow. However, we just want to make sure that if there are problems that are things that we know we have some control over, that we really just don't want to face, if this is causing so much emotional burnout, and these are things that, again, just repeatedly keep coming up for us, we have to understand that at some point they need to be dealt with. So if there is a stressor that could be removed, that is definitely something that we need to put some consideration into. We also need to think about reducing stress altogether in our life. Maybe it is not just these big things. Maybe it's just a whole bunch of little things that are stressing us out and causing us to be emotionally burnt out. All those things adding up can really be problematic as well. So we need to find effective strategies that work for us to really reduce that stress and, again, eliminate the things in our life that really don't need to be there. Number 5, practice mindfulness. I know this is one we hear over and over again, but truly mindfulness can help us reduce stress and anxiety, and certainly help us to balance our emotions. Now, this is something that I did a whole video on, so I will go ahead and link that down in the description box below. But basically what we're talking about when we say mindfulness is being in the here and now, living in the present moment, which so many of us do not do. We are stuck in the past, or we are worried about the future. So we think about the past and we're just ruminating over past mistakes and situations that we can no longer control, or we are thinking about the future and we're worrying about situations that may never even happen. So when we pull our focus back to the here and now, it just instantly reduces suffering, because this moment we can control. We have control over this moment, but we really start to feel overwhelmed when we start to think about these situations that we have no control over. And there are so many different ways that we can practice this. We can focus on deep breathing. We can practice yoga. We can go out in nature for a walk. We can meditate, and we can just simply learn strategies for remembering to, again, bring our time and attention back to the here and now. Number 6, get your feelings out. It is so important that we do express ourselves, and I know a lot of times when we're going through this, when we are feeling so emotionally burnt out, we feel so drained, we feel so tired, and we don't realize what a necessary step this really is, how important it really is to our healing. So if we're not to the point where we're really ready to talk to someone, we can certainly kind of sit with ourselves, we can journal about it, or when we are ready, we can talk to a friend or a family member or anyone else that could be sympathetic, that could offer support for us. And if we need to, we can certainly seek professional help. We can see a mental health therapist that can certainly help us work through these feelings and offer further treatment. I know a lot of times we try to be superheroes, or we think we're going to burden someone else with our problems, but that's really not the case. The truth is that a lot of times we really do need support, and certainly we need validation. This is something that is very difficult to go through, and a lot of times, just having someone that is sympathetic, that is understanding, even if they, can't solve your problems, even if they are just that sympathetic ear, just allowing you to express yourself and to get these emotions out can be so healing and so cathartic. So that is something that is definitely part of this process as well. So please just know that emotional exhaustion is absolutely a treatable condition, and any or all of these strategies can help us learn how to cope and to reduce the amount of negative emotions and symptoms that we are feeling, and to eventually recover completely. Please do let me know in the comments below if there are strategies that you have found helpful that I didn't mention today. We like to share information in this community, and we are all here to support one another. So absolutely, your insight is always invited. Also, I wanted to give another shout out and thank you to Psych2Go for the inspiration for this video. If you did find it helpful, please like it, share it with someone else who may need to hear the same message today. Also, become a subscriber if you aren't one already. We definitely want you to stay connected. And I thank you so much for spending time with me today. Have an absolutely amazing day.